Life, in its essence, is peace. The mind, identified with thoughts and desires, creates suffering. This is the ego, a constructed identity seeking validation in an impermanent world. The ego thrives on comparison and the illusion of separation. It tells us we are separate from others and nature. This separation is the root of discontent. True peace arises from transcending this limited self. Recognize impermanence and find stillness within. Beyond the ego's illusions lies deep peace and interconnectedness. The ego's primary function is to protect and preserve itself. It does this by constantly seeking pleasure and avoiding pain, accumulating possessions and achievements, and craving recognition and approval. This constant striving creates a sense of lack, a belief that we are not enough. We compare ourselves to others, feeling envy or pride, always seeking to solidify our imagined identity. This need for external validation traps us in a cycle of desire and attachment. We become attached to outcomes, to possessions, to relationships, and even to our own self-image. This attachment is the source of much of our suffering. When our desires are fulfilled, we experience fleeting happiness, soon replaced by new desires. When they are not, we suffer disappointment, anger, and frustration. The ego is a complex and multifaceted concept that can be complicated to define. At its core is the part of our psyche that drives our sense of self-importance, our need for validation, and our fear of rejection. It's the voice in our head that constantly reminds us of our strengths and weaknesses, our accomplishments and failures. And it's this ego that often stands in the way of our ability to find true inner peace. The first step towards transcending the ego is awareness. We must become aware of our thoughts, our emotions, and our reactive patterns. Mindfulness is an invaluable tool in this process. By paying attention to the present moment without judgment, we create space between ourselves and our thoughts. We begin to observe the ego's machinations without being swept away by them. This awareness allows us to choose our responses rather than reacting habitually. We can pause, breathe, and inquire into the nature of our thoughts and emotions. As we become more aware, we realize that we are not our thoughts. We are the consciousness that observes them. This realization is profoundly liberating. Embracing acceptance. Transcending the ego is not about eliminating it, for it serves a purpose in navigating the world. It is about releasing our identification with it, about recognizing its limitations. Acceptance is key to this process. Accepting ourselves as we are, with all our imperfections and vulnerabilities, is crucial. This does not mean resignation, but rather a compassionate embrace of our human experience. We must also learn to accept what is, to let go of our attachment to outcomes. This does not mean we should not have desires or goals, but rather that we hold them lightly without clinging. True freedom lies in surrendering to the present moment, in embracing life as it unfolds without resistance. In conclusion, the journey to transcend the ego is a profound transformation that touches every aspect of our lives. It is a process that invites us to step beyond the confines of our constructed identities and embrace a deeper, more authentic existence. This path is not necessarily easy, but its rewards are immeasurable, offering a life filled with peace, fulfillment, and lasting happiness. At the core of this journey lies the understanding that the ego, while a necessary part of our psychological makeup, often leads us astray. It thrives on separation, competition, and the relentless pursuit of validation. These tendencies can trap us in cycles of anxiety and dissatisfaction, constantly seeking external approval to feel worthy. By recognizing these patterns, we can begin to disentangle ourselves from the ego's grasp. Transcending the ego involves cultivating self-awareness and mindfulness. These practices allow us to observe our thoughts and emotions without becoming entangled in them. Through meditation and reflection, we learn to identify the ego's voice and differentiate it from our true self. This awareness is empowering. It gives us the choice to respond rather than react, fostering a sense of inner calm and stability. Acceptance plays a crucial role in this transformation. By accepting ourselves fully, with all our strengths and imperfections, we diminish the ego's power over us. This acceptance is not about complacency, but about embracing our humanity. It frees us from the need for external validation and allows us to live authentically. Letting go of attachments and expectations is another key aspect. The ego clings to past grievances and future worries, which can cloud our present experience. By releasing these attachments, we create space for new possibilities and deeper peace. This detachment doesn't mean disengagement, but rather a fuller engagement with life, unclouded by fear and desire. Furthermore, transcending the ego enhances our relationships. When we let go of judgment and comparison, we open ourselves to genuine connection and empathy. We begin to see others not as rivals but as allies, sharing in the human experience. This shift fosters deeper, more meaningful relationships rooted in mutual respect and understanding. On a broader scale, the implications of transcending the ego are profound. As individuals transform, so too can societies. A collective movement toward ego transcendence can lead to more compassionate and equitable communities. By prioritizing collective well-being over individual gain, we can address global challenges more effectively. Ultimately, transcending the ego leads us back to our true nature, a state of being that is interconnected, whole, and at peace. This realization is transformative. It allows us to experience life with a sense of wonder and gratitude, appreciating the beauty in each moment. We become resilient in the face of adversity, grounded in a peace that is not dependent on external circumstances. In choosing this path, we commit to a life of authenticity and purpose. It is a journey of continuous growth where each step brings us closer to our true essence. By transcending the ego, we not only find personal peace, but also contribute to a more harmonious world. This transformation is the ultimate gift, offering a life rich in meaning and connection. A life where peace is not just a fleeting experience, but a permanent state of being.